All right, thanks for joining us. So we're about a week deep or so into the high school hoop season here in the Valley, so we'll show you a little peek at the standings overall right now. We'll start off with the 1A, 2A Western Slope. Vail Mountain School is sitting at 2-1 on the season with wins coming against Clear Creek and Lake County. Lake County is a 3A school in the Frontier Conference, so that 58-44 win for the Gore Rangers over the Panthers had to be a meaningful one. The only loss on the season so far for Vail Mountain School came against Coleridge, who is a 4A school, so that one we could just consider a write-off. VMS's next game will come against 3A school North Fork. Now, taking a look at the rival school, Vail Christian has so far played a similar schedule to Vail Mountain School. The Saints took on Lake County for their first game of the year, which they came up empty-handed. The Saints were also able to turn it around, though, in their next game as they beat Clear Creek for their first win of the season. So Vail Christian and Vail Mountain School getting the win over Clear Creek early in the season. Most recently, the Saints played Plateau Valley, where they fell, but they'll have a chance to redeem themselves against Cedar Edge. Switching up the class levels, we'll head over to 5A, where Battle Mountain boys basketball is in a bit of a slump. The Huskies are 1-3 on the season and have lost their last two games. Their most recent loss came against 6A school Prairie View, who is a 6A Front Range school, however. The Huskies will look to turn their season around in their next game, which is right now scheduled to be Summit High, so that should be a good game for the Huskies. And then over here now, taking a look at the counterpart to Battle Mountain, the rival school, Eagle Valley. The Devils are off to a perfect start on the season. They've only played one game, but their win over Basalt, they played pretty well, and they're scheduled to play against Mitchell in their next game, and that one is at home, which should be a decent game for the Devils as Mitchell is off to an 0-2 start for the season. So you've already seen what Vail Christian boys basketball has accomplished thus far into the season, but you don't exactly get to see what's going on inside their gym at practice. So here's a look inside the gym at what the Saints boys basketball program is excited about for their season. Vail Christian boys basketball is eyeing a new season that brings a lot of change. However, senior point guard Will Newman says the shift is working in the Saints' favor.
We lost our coach who's been here for 23 years. Majority of our seniors who scored all of our points. So I think people are going to underestimate us a lot and puts a fire under our belly.
Newman's father, Andrew, is now at the helm of the Saints program after 2 years with the team as an assistant coach. But all the talk around the team revolves around the new freshman.
During our tryouts, we actually ranked everyone, like, say we ran a suicide and you got 9 seconds, or like 25 seconds, that's the first place time. You get 1 point, and the goal is to get the least amount of points throughout the whole tryouts. And out of the top 5 people, we had 3 freshmen. So we're really excited because we have a lot of really young players that are coming in really strong, and yeah, no, we're excited for it.
For Newman and the Saints, there's a lot to look forward to this season, but the rivalry game with Vail Mountain School is on the minds of everyone.
All of those guys I grew up from 6th grade to now, I've been playing against them. So just so excited to play against them, last year coming out. So we've touched on boys basketball and how the guys are starting to stack up in our area, but there's also girls basketball, so here's a look at what's happening there.
Eagle Valley girls basketball is underway in Gypsum. They're currently sitting at 1-1 on the year in 5A. The Devils took on Moffett County most recently, where they fell to the Bulldogs on the road, but in their season opener, they came out swinging on defense to get the job done against Basalt. We'll show you those highlights from their season opener now. Both sitting at 0 wins and 0 losses on the season, Eagle Valley and Basalt matched up for their season openers. Abby Talbot is going to drive inside, miss the two. Basalt comes away with it, but she'll steal the ball back, pass outside. Zakia Sharif misses the 3, but Josie Fitzsimmons is there to clean it up for the Devils. Sienna Mandeville will come away with the steal in the backcourt off camera, pass outside to Sharif, who knocks down the 3. Sharif then gets the steal and takes it to the basket for the Devils and gets fouled. Back with the ball, it's Eagle Valley. Talbot takes this one to the basket and lays it in for the easy 2. Sharif will get another steal. This one off the inbound. She'll pass under the basket to Fitzsimmons, who hits it off the glass for another Devils 2. Sharif back with the ball. She passes inside to Talbot, who gives it back to Sharif, who has an open look under the basket and gets it to go for the Devils. Eagle Valley making easy work out of Basalt early. Sharif is going to intercept another pass, her third steal of the day, and draw the foul. Off the inbound, Sharif has it swatted away. Devils get it to Fitzsimmons, who fires the three, no good, recovered by Sharif, who banks it off the glass. She'll then come away with another steal, her fourth of the game, and the Devils will get it to Alondra Ruiz for the basket. Eagle Valley makes easy work out of Basalt in their first game of the year to improve to 1-0. Like we talked about, Eagle Valley is now sitting at 1-1 on the season and will play their next game against Legend, who is a Class 6A/5A school and undefeated at 4-0 on the year. So the Devils should have their hands full in this one. Well, we'll touch real fast on Battle Mountain, the rival school Eagle Valley, and their team is 1-3 on the year, and the only win came against Regis Groff, a Class 5A/4A school, which was a relatively defensive game between the two. Battle Mountain's 3 losses on the year in their season opener came against Denver North, and then their next game, Nawat, and then Thomas Jefferson. Those all 3 L's from the Front Range schools. Now, before we slide into an in-depth look at girls 2A basketball here in the Valley, over at Vale Christian, the Saints girls basketball team, their program has a new head coach at the helm that the team's pretty excited about. Fresh out of Baylor University, the Texan, Savannah Webster, is already making an impact on the Saints girls basketball team.
She's really on top of it and stays on our team, makes sure we're all on it and on time and punctual.
Webster teaches mathematics at Vale Christian, but her passion revolves around the rock. This is her first head coaching job, and she's taking a unique approach.
She just makes it feel like almost a family, like she's just like our sister basically. It's not more of like I'm better than you because I'm your coach kind of dynamic. It's more of just we're all just great friends, and she makes it fun. She makes us work, but she makes it fun, and yet we're still a disciplined team.
To these girls, Coach Webster is already one of them. She explains fitting into their culture is her intention as the new leader of the Saints program.
I want them to love the sport, and I want them to have fun, and I want to be on their team. And so getting to be with them and let them know I'm not going to ever make them do something that I wouldn't do. I want them to love the sport. I want them to want to come back. I want them to be excited about practicing games. And so that's kind of a goal that I had going in. So
Webster believes winning games will come this season as the camaraderie on her team continues to grow. On the season, Vale Christian girls basketball is sitting at 1-1. They won their first game of the season opener against Lake County, but would later drop their next game against Plateau Valley. The Saints play their next scheduled game of the season against Gilpin County. Well, CU football may have not performed as well at the end of the season as we may have liked to see, but many individuals on that team had success over the course of this season, and one in particular really stood out. Colorado's sophomore wide receiver and cornerback Travis Hunter was named the recipient of the 2023 Paul Hornum Award, which was announced by the Louisville Sports Commission Wednesday. Hunter has been deemed one of the most dynamic players of the modern era as he successfully played both sides of the ball at the FBS level in a Power 5 conference, which I definitely was shocked to see while watching him play this season, but he's impressive. Hunter did miss 3 games this season due to the injury he sustained against Colorado State in Week 3 at Folsom Field, but he still played the most snaps of any regular season college football player in the FBS. Hunter is the first player in the last 25 seasons with 50-plus receptions and 3 or more interceptions. The only comparable season to Hunter's comes from Georgia's Champ Bailey back in 1998 when he had 47 receptions for 744 yards and 5 touchdowns offensively, along with 3 interceptions on defense. It was a blast watching Hunter play this year at Folsom Field, and I assume he'll only get better and even more involved in the game when next season rolls around, so stay tuned for that. Travis Hunter made a lot of splashes over the course of the Buffs season, and you can only expect him to do even more next year with Deion's second year at the helm. But make sure to continue coming back to us for all the latest sports coverage here in the Valley and beyond. We'll see you next time.